All right.
All right, bro. Hopefully this time we working. Third time's the charm.
Always. You already know.
Sure. About to go sideways. Is this good or it looks sideways?
You look sideways now.
Wow. But how you been though, man?
Man, I've been good, but it's been hard to watch the news, man.
Yeah, bro. I've been seeing a lot of that going on, especially with the way they pushing the media. So it's tricky, bro. But we live in a world now. We kind of gotta adapt, or we won't get left behind. So
Yeah, man. I don't even know how to like really do an intro or anything like that, but I'm gonna tell you that we back with Uncle Bo TV. I'm back with everything that I need to know about gun law. You know what I'm saying? With my brother, I got Malik Hopkins back. Man, how you been feeling ever since you heard about this shooting?
um, so if I jump back to the first one that happened in Buffalo, it's kind of tricky because it's not getting as much coverage as the other ones are going on now because of kids being involved, which is a little bit tricky. But it's one of those things where I feel like the conversation needs to be had because we've been getting a lot of misinformation on how to protect ourselves and the actual laws in our state. So I think it's just bringing the awareness to the situation.
Damn, bro. Because I wouldn't think that make here. You feel what I'm saying? We should be in good time to get spirits right now. The summer's almost here, but to for two like massive shootings, you know what I'm saying? I know is plenty more, but I'm talking about as far as on a national standpoint. To have two in 1 month is kind of tough to deal with, man.
Yeah, it's actually was a couple more than that. It was one obviously in Buffalo. Then it was another one in California at a
Mm.
church that I think 3 people got shot at, which is considered the limit for mass shooting.
Yeah.
And then obviously the 21 people in Texas. So yeah, man, it's a lot going on. A lot of conspiracies running out to it at the same time, which kind of takes away from the real story.
Hmm.
But it's one of those things now where we got to have these conversations to get to the solutions because until we fix something, it's going to keep happening. So yeah, bro.
Okay. So, like, what do you think, you know, you would do if you were able to sit at that table amongst, politicians or whatnot? What would you say?
It's tricky because the biggest thing I tell people, and I see in reports too, police officers and the ambulance are basically first responders. But in the event of a shooting or something happen, you have to rely on yourself for at least 5 minutes at minimum till they arrive. So if you don't have weapons, then how do you do that? So I think it's a lot where in places of public places we should have more people armed, and in schools we should have at minimum security guard or law enforcement if you have the money for it. A lot of schools are trying to, especially in Florida, they have a Garter program where they have different programs where you take like an 80-hour course
Hmm.
to basically go through mass shooting protocols. So that's helping out, especially after the Parkland shooting. But it's one of those things where you have to get armed and educate yourself on your laws because you can't turn into the victim thing. And reports now are coming out about the school shooting that the cops kind of waited a little bit before going into school, which could have stopped the process a little bit earlier. So those
Hmm.
are some of the small points we can make, but it's a lot that we have to have these open conversations about.
Hmm. And that's the thing. Like, how long do you supposed to, sit and wait? You feel what I'm saying? Because I mean, I get it. You don't just want to rush in there and just start popping shit off, but how long do you supposed to wait?
So technically with the mass shooting, you're supposed to arriving officers are supposed to take wherever they have, whatever guns they have, and go in there to stop the shooting as fast as possible.
Right.
But the reports that came out, the sergeant that was on site of the school shooting, he changed it from a mass shooting to a barricaded person situation. So everybody doesn't have the tactical skills to do a barricaded shooter because you got to basically clear rooms like military. Like one person walk in, go this way, the other one goes the other way, vice versa.
Yeah.
By you changing it to that, you allowed a lot more rounds to be shot, just a lot more hazard to happen. So a lot of the blame has to go on these cops too, because they handled the situation real bad. And there's reports coming out about parents running in to go get their kids out of school, or even some cops going to get their kids out of school. So we got to look at the actual timeline of what actually happened instead of just jumping to conclusions about all guns.
Wow. Because that's crazy, because I heard little stories about, parents going in and rushing in to go get their kids. I heard about the cops getting their kids before it even happened. Now, I don't know about that. I think that's kind of, that conspiracy BS. But at the same time, that's not far-fetched. Right. That's not far-fetched for them to see it happening from a distance and being like, no, I'm going to go get my kids and be out. But I don't think you can do that. Like, as far as, like, if you were supposed to be there to protect, and that's your, that's where you're supposed to be at, and you just dip, can't you lose your job? Or ain't you supposed to lose your job?
I mean, in the right world, I agree with you, but we see how law enforcement gets treated in this country, so that's up to them to handle it amongst themselves. But as civilians, we gotta kind of demand some type of responsibility for this, because after the Columbine shooting, they changed it from, if you're walking in there and you're seeing people falling, you can't really assess them until you stop the threat, because if I stop and work on you while somebody's still shooting, there's more lives that person's taking. So it's one of those things where it's tricky, bro, because I don't try to blame all the cops or stuff like that, but if this is what you get paid to do, you have to act on it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, bro.
Man, it's kind of tough, because from my perspective, it kind of looks like, these kids was literally sacrificed, bro. Like, these kids were slaughtered, bro. You got to think about it, because the story is this man locked himself in with the students that was in that classroom. So he literally wasn't that far, as far as, like, range, you know what I'm saying, with a rifle. He busting these kids like crazy. And that's the horrific part for me. Like, that's how I look at it. As a regular civilian, you know what I'm saying? No security knowledge, none of that. That's terrible, bro. You can't word it. You can't make it seem like, oh yeah, this is just a mishap. No, bro. These kids was a sacrifice for their fuck up.
Yeah, but it's one of those things too. In, like, our society, we have to change stuff. Like, cell phones have changed, cars have changed, everything's changing. Schools still operate the same.
Yeah.
It's been too many school shootings for every school not to have some type of resource officer or security guard to handle this stuff. And don't get me wrong, a pistol on your hip is cool, but if somebody come with an AR, you need to have one accessible to meet force with force. So we need to change these laws and stuff to, like, stop trying to blame. Don't get me wrong, mental illness is a big thing, but there's a difference between somebody going through something and somebody going out of their pure evil. So I think that's the biggest conversation we need to have on that. But the timeline is tricky, because at first they said that he crashed the car, which he actually did, and he got into a gunfight with the police officers before he entered the school. But 2 days later, they came out with reports saying that he never got into the gunfight with the police officers, and he basically crashed the car. He started shooting at this church across the street. They were doing a funeral. Then he got his way into the school, shooting at it for like 2 or 3 minutes, found an open door. They started calling, police officers, we need you guys on scene, blase, blase. Once they got there, they received gunfire back. From that point, that's when they changed it from, okay, we don't have the skills to go in here to handle him. Let's change it to a barricade situation and wait on Border Patrol tactical teams to come handle the situation instead of them just going in there. Because I don't know if you personally seen a cop car before, but most cop cars have an AR-15 right in the middle console. So it's like, bro, just go do your job. And because I've been in situations where I had to draw my firearm and knocking on wood, I've never had to discharge it. But to hear people getting shot at and dying, bro, and you just standing there scared, arresting parents and threatening them if they go help their kids is like crazy, bro.
The fact that they were using that much force with the parents and not to take their ass in there and do their job is beyond me. That's crazy to me, bro.
Right, right.
Like, man, and then just seeing, I forgot the name of, the person that's in charge, but like, the head honcho of the police department, he just getting up there just pretty much saying like, yeah, it was nothing we could do. This motherfucker 18, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if it take a couple of y'all in there, I'm pretty sure y'all can outsmart this man. Or just go ahead and just do y'all thing straight up, like you said. I feel like by the time this man crashed the car, he should have been dealt with then. He should have been dealt with then.
It's tricky because it happened so fast. My biggest thing is the school should have been locked because he wanted to get in there. But once the police officers arrived and they received gunfire, they should have went back, made another plan, and then re-enter instead of waiting. Some reports say 91 minutes, which is an hour and a half, and some of them say an hour. Either way, that's too long.
Yeah.
So it's very messed up, bro. But it's a pattern that's starting to happen, and I tell people if somebody's shooting at you, they won't shoot back as good as if you shooting back at them. So I tell everybody, if you don't got a felon, go get you a gun. And even if you got a felon for nothing violent, you still can get your rights restored back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the shooting that happened in New York was way worse, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have time to crash his car and shoot at the school and enter it. This guy hopped out the car, put it in park, and he went straight to work, like on some Call of Duty stuff, confirming his kills. Like that man was out to do something, bro. It's a sick world we live in, bro. But we got to do something about it, bro, because we can't keep acting like.
And what did he live stream the shit too?
He was on Twitch.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I was saying too, because nobody's talking about Twitch basically not flagging this and alerting the authorities of his location and what was going on. They didn't release a report until after the shooting already. And this 11 people died in that. The youngest person was 32. Like, I'm talking about our freaking uncles and grandparents and something got killed in that, bro. It's sad, bro.
He wrote the N-word on the end of the gun. So you can't tell me about mental health. You feel what I'm saying? You can't tell me that he didn't know what he was doing. He went out and did exactly what he planned to do.
Right, and then the thing is, he did recon, bro. So basically, recon is he went the day before, and he met with this black dude that was on the news telling the news about it, that they had a conversation, they sat down, they talked. He had on a shirt that said genius. They talked about critical race theory and science and space and all this, had a good conversation. The black dude even bought him a drink. And right before he left, he said, "Hey, you gonna be here tomorrow?" He said, "Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow," around like 3 o'clock or something like that. He went there like, I think at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock and did that shooting. So it was planned, bro. And black people were like, "Oh, well, they killed him because they killed those people because the security guard was basically working on an engine that runs off of water." And he had just went on the news about that. So people are trying to say that the reason he got charged with 1 count of first-degree murder is because he killed the person that he was sent there to go kill. Now, that may be true or not true, but I feel like if we're bringing that narrative so far to the front, we take away from the other 10 people that died.
Right.
So,
yeah. So what if he killed? But that's the thing. What if he did his mission and he killed them other 10 people because he racist? He don't like niggas. You feel what I'm saying?
It's hard, bro, because I try not to watch shootings and stuff like that, especially on black men or black women, because like as a guy, we run off of testosterone, and seeing that stuff literally drops that stuff in your body because you're like putting yourself through trauma. So when I watch stuff like that, I watch it from a tactical point. But just to watch bro, he was shooting like it was a video game. He was 2-shot and headshots, doing tactical reloads, like, which is basically when your gun gets to the end of the bullets, instead of you dropping it to the ground and putting the magazine, he's switching them out, reloading, like going around corners, like
that Call of Duty.
Bro, like, and he had the camera mounted on his forehead, like the visual you see in first person on Call of Duty. So it's tricky, bro.
It was really him apologizing to the white dude when he was just like, oh no, my bad, and then he kept. That's why I feel like, okay, that's the thing, because I have, I got some white homies that don't even like what he did. You feel me? So where I'm coming from, that's not where it's even coming from. I just feel like he was 1,000% fucked up for what he did. Period. Point blank. You can't excuse what he did, bro.
He drove 200 miles, bro, to go do that. Bro, I done been mad at somebody before. I didn't want to fight, do all this crazy stuff to somebody before. By the time you drive about 50 miles, 100 miles, you're like, okay, let me calm down. Especially somebody you have nothing, you never met before. This man drove 200 miles. You know how planned out and executed you got to do to want to do something like that? Like, that's I don't know how many hours that is. That's probably like 2 or 3 hours. Like, come on, bro.
But that tell me mission.
Literally, bro.
That tell me mission, bro. So I don't know, but
it's
all I can do is pray,
last thing about that. The Texas shooter got killed. He got taken out. They talked him down. They did all this stuff. It's tricky, bro. The Mexican and the Texas shooter was Mexican. The Dylan Roof, he got took to Burger King, and this one got talked down. So it's like they're seeing that just because they do these shootings, they're not getting negative punishment. They getting walked out of handcuffs. They're gonna have a fair trial and sit in jail for the rest of their life. Ain't no real consequences behind it.
Yeah, I just think it's sick because it's right in our face. It's right in our face, bro. Like, you can't get more racist than that. I'ma just call it what it is. That shit was the race hate crime. That's what it was. Yeah. And they giving him, come on, bro. It makes me sick because I don't like to do the whole, you know what I'm saying, that's racist. I don't like to be the black man that be like crime that's racist all the fucking time. But if we being honest, bro, that's what that was. You can't put it in no other form.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. In the black community, we do have our own problem with gun violence.
Yeah,
I'm not ignoring, but I'm not saying the least like it's good. We going at somebody who did us wrong, or it's like a beef that already established. We not going to random places just shooting people we don't even know for no fucking reason.
That's what I'm saying.
That's beyond me, bro. But like I said, if more people got guns and somebody starts shooting, the bullets start hitting you from everywhere, you won't go to do it. And a lot of these places where stuff happened, they have either gun laws like New York where you can't own a gun and every bullet that you have, you're getting charged. And Texas, where that school that he went into don't have a security guard. So those are some of the examples that are different. But in Florida, you can't walk into no school like that. They at least got a security guard who's going to be like, who are you? Why are you here? You feel me? So.
Man, but my heart goes out to those kids out there in Texas, their families. Yeah. Bro, that's tough, man. That's tough, and he's a baby, so I don't really know how to feel, especially like, we had the what was it called, the Parkland?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think ever since then, we were crying about no more of this, but it's just like allowing this much since then is kind of it's too much.
I mean, it was already 27 school shootings this year, so it's not like this was the only one. And the Parkland shooting, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying stuff like this has to happen, but the only way you get it changed if something bad happens. So consequences to that shooting is you got to be 21 to buy a long rifle now in Florida. You can't be 18 before or 16 like it used to be. Mm-hmm. So that makes it a little bit more harder. And then off of that, it started the Garter program, like I mentioned, that most schools now in Florida have a security guard because of the Parkland shooting.
Right.
So it's
man.
tricky, bro.
I think it's time to actually like start having a little bit of police there. We need police there. You feel what
It's
I'm saying?
but
Like a security guard is cool, but
this is my only thing to that, and I'm not disagreeing with you.
yeah,
A security guard, you can pay him anywhere between 15 to maybe like $21. A police officer is going to require way more money than that.
right.
Security guards, when we go through training, we have to qualify with our pistols.
Hmm.
You can get anywhere from, I think, a 180 all the way up to a 245.
Hmm.
So my thing I'm saying is you put these security guards who are cool-minded, chill, whatever you want to call it, with good scores in these schools, and it's
Right.
not that hard to go get your rifle qualifications on the same thing.
Hmm.
It's a cheaper thing because if we want police to focus on pulling us over right, now we want to put them in schools and take them away from doing their other jobs. It's like we just have to create a market for it because it's already out there.
Or a department for it,
Yeah, but that's why
because
you can't just do that. Like you have to do security training, but
yeah,
to add shooters, that's a whole nother 2-week training.
yeah.
So
But that's the thing. It's like you gotta think about it. Like how much is a child's life worth? You feel what I'm saying? At the same time.
yeah,
So
but
it's like
but schools are and I'm playing devil's advocate because all schools don't have money. It's cheaper and more accessible to have a security guard. And I'm people have this mindset about security, like, oh, we don't. I know some security guards shoot just as good, not as better as cops that
right.
actually take it serious. So it's one of those things we just have to put the right people in it.
Hmm.
There's not too many school shooters I know that recently that had a security guard in it.
Hmm.
That's why I say you have to get them. You have to make the game fair. You got to at least get them an AR-15. They have either in the police, in the principal office or their office that they can get to it if they need to.
Right.
But I don't believe necessarily putting cops into more schools is going to fix it because the Parkland shooter, it was a cop there and he fucking ran out the building.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not saying cops because I did use cops. Like that's the wrong word. But like if we could have more trained, you know what I'm saying, like
Individual.
people,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that'll be better. And like I said, like how much is a child's life worth? It's like there's no need for it to be 3,000 students or 1,000 students at a school and it's only one security guard. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like really, per section of the school there needs to be a security guard there. You feel me? At least four minimum. You feel
Eh,
what I'm saying?
that's tricky
Northeast,
because
southwest.
it costs a lot of money to pay somebody that, and
Yeah.
you could have one, but the thing is not to. If we live in a perfect world, we have money. I would say that many, but the biggest goal, you just want to have somebody there to either put down the threat or at
Mm.
least slow him down until the police can get there. Like in Buffalo, the security guard that everybody's talking about, they say that the reason he didn't kill a lot more people is because the security guard slowed him down and losing his life in that.
Mm.
So my question is, we should provide more training to anybody who be in schools and give them firepower to equal that. And a lot of people want to bring up, oh, well, these assault rifles should be banned and all this. It's like I'm gonna tell you, what is it? What do you think an assault rifle is?
It's a strong gun. That's all I can tell you right now.
Oh, and that's the thing that most people don't understand. An assault rifle is what military personnel has. It's a gun that can go from fully automatic to semi-automatic. What basically means every time I pull the trigger, I shoot around.
Hmm.
Most, not even most, all guns sold in gun stores are semi-automatic. They are not assault rifles. They are regular rifles. So them just using certain words put negative connotation on stuff. It's like they're trying to scare everybody from getting it. Because I'm telling you, somebody breaking your house right now, not you, I'm just saying in general, and you got to wait on the police, they going to come find your body and not you if you can't put a fair fight in there. So we got to be careful what we wish for because in the UK, they don't got guns over there. But ask them how many people get stabbed per day.
Ooh.
Like, it's going to happen. Violence is going to happen, bro. You got to get some type of protection, a knife, a gun, a mace, something, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that go for everybody at this point. Because, I
Yeah,
mean,
bro.
this 18-year-old motherfucker can just walk in and just shoot up something, you know. I think it's just time for everybody at this point. You know what I mean? But I never thought that we will be in like a purge type feel for our children. You know what I'm saying out here. So
Yeah, definitely, bro.
yeah, man. So I appreciate you taking time to speak with me on this because
Oh,
this has been messing with me a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Because even just thinking about it hasn't really been in Tampa. I don't need nobody tripping in Tampa, Bowl. But man, just thinking about a lot of people, you know, in my family have to send their kids to school and just be like sitting there trembling and hoping like they don't get no news, no trending news or anything like that. So
I mean, you remember the one that happened in Texas at the church was like 2 or 3 years ago.
mm,
But like I said, they got at that church, they got security. So when he went in there and started shooting, the dude ran to his car, got his AR-15, ran back in the church and shot the dude.
mm,
He didn't have no AR-15. Who know how many people want to die? I'm not saying you have to be like me where you can still carry everywhere you go and be gun heavy, but just have some protection in place. You don't even need a license to carry. Well, you need it to carry, but you don't need a
yeah,
license to go buy a gun. They do a background check, and you're not getting one unless you do one legally.
yeah,
But you can have one in your house or your car, long as it's in a box or something, and not
mm,
loaded with the magazine in it. So you can have a gun on you, bro. Like they give you the right to do it. It's just people live in this world where they think the police gonna save everything. And I'm one of the people. I'm not gonna blame you wrong. If something happen, I'm gonna call their ass too. But you gotta wait for them to come. And seconds,
yeah.
everything gunfight. The most gunfight average, the average for gunfight is 3 seconds at 5 to 7 rounds. So you gotta be aware of that.
Mm. Boy, that's tactical as hell. I mean, there ain't no other way to put it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Hell yeah. But like I said, bro, I appreciate you for hopping on
Anytime.
another episode for Uncle Bo TV, man. Prayers go out to Texas, dog. Peace
All
and
right.
love.
Yes, sir.